Hello all. So we have started our trek and we met different flowers, plants, trees, full of fruits. What else do we have? We shall look into the poem. Kanavar Kudi. Teen Anna own segandal, Tuval Kalittu, Pudumugai own settu, Ariya edutha punpura seval, Un Ammayin, Unnadu Uguttena, நெருப்பின் அன்னபல் இதழ்தாஐ வெறிக்களம் அடுக்கும் வியலறை தோறும் மண்வில் கமழும் மாமலை சாரல் தேனினர் கிழங்கினர் ஊனார் வட்டியர் சிறுகண் பன்றி பதுதுளி போக்கி பொருது தொலை யானை கோடு சீராக தூவோடு மலிந்த காய காணவர் செழுப்பல் யானர் சிறுகுடிப்படினே இருபேர் ஒக்கலோடு பதம் மிக பெருகுவீர். The forest dwellers burrow. Scarlet flame lilies glowing bright, wet by rains bringing newer fleshy buds, picked by a scotch-back batty kite that drops it when reality strikes. More petals dispel like scattering blaze, turning the fields like bloody battlefronts, over boulders fragrant like newlyweds on slopes, with bowls of honey and yam and freshest meat of the tiny-eyed pig skinned and cleaned, tied upon ivory poles from defeated mammoths, dwellers with meat and vegetables abundant, set foot in their burrow, and they will feed a feast fit for a clan. We have met our first tribe, and the very entrance of the tribe's burrow is described beautifully by the poet thus. There are a lot of flame lily trees at the entrance of the burrow, and the trees have scattered their flowers all over the ground that the entire ground looks reddish as if some battle has gone over there. And the poet wittingly says that several times eagles can be seen swooping down to pick up the flame lily petals thinking they are pieces of flesh, but poor kites, realizing that they are mere petals, drop them at various places on the hills. So, how do the forest dwellers treat guests who arrive at their place? There are different kinds of food that they have to offer. Well, they serve you honey, they serve you powdered yam, and the freshest of meat. What sort of meat? They hunt, kill, skin, and clean pigs that roam about the forest. They are small-eyed pigs. They are clean, and the meat is freshly cooked and served to the guests who arrive at their burrows. Then the forest dwellers also serve you with lot of vegetables, fit for a king feast indeed. வழியிலுள்ள சிற்றூரில் நிகழும் விருந்து. அன்று அவன் அசையே அல் சேர்ந்து அல்கி கன்று ஏரியோள் இனர் கடும்பொடு மலைந்து சேந்த செயலை செப்பம் போக்கி அலங்கு களை நரலும் மாறிப்படுகர் சிலம்பு அடைந்து இருந்த பாக்கம் மீதி நோனா செருவின் வலம்படு நுண்தாள் மான விரல்வேள் வயிரியம் எனினே நும்மில் போல் நில்லாது புக்கு கிழவிற் போல கேளாது கேளி சேன்புலம் பகல இனிய கூறி பருவு கூரை பொழிந்து நெய்க்கண் வேவையோடு குருவு கண் இரடி பொம்மல் பெருகுவீர். The feast in the village. Halt for the day, stay put at night in the place led by a road bordered with flaming red sarka trees and noisy bamboos up and down the tough roads to reach the village on the slopey part, where no foe dare withstand. Tell them you sing in praise of Velir's bravest king. Enter their son's fear, just like home, of relatives where no permission needed. With sweetest words they ease your battered selves. Fattened meat roasted in melted butter, mixed with millet rice, will you be served. Here the poet says that they can very well stay there for the night. For the forest dwellers are very hospitable, very friendly, and they will serve them with freshly cooked meat that are deep fried in ghee or molten butter and cooked millet rice accompanying the meat. And if they say that they are going to meet King Nannan, who belonged to the Velir clan, They will indeed be very happy to welcome them like friendly relatives. நன்னதது மலை நாட்டில் பெரும் பொருட்கள் ஏரி தருவும் இலங்குமலை தாரமோடு வேய்பெயில் விளையுள் தேக்கள் தேரல் குறைவின்றி பருகி நரவு மகிழ்ந்து வைகரை பழம் செருக்கு உற்றனும் அனந்தல் தீர அருவி தந்த பழம் சிதை வெள்கால் வருவிசை தவிர்த்து கடமான் கொழுக்குறை முழவுமா தொலைச்சிய பை நினப்பிளவை பிணவு நாய் முடுக்கிய தடியோடு விரையி வெள்புடை கொண்ட துய்த்தலை பழனின் இன் புளி கலந்த மாமோராக களைவளர் நெல்லின் அறிவுரை ஊழ்த்து வளையமை சாரல் கமலத் துளையி நறுமலர் அணிந்த நாறு இருமுச்சி குரமகள் ஆக்கிய வாலவிழ் வல்சி அகமலி உவகை ஆர்வமுடு அழையி மகமுறை தடுப்ப மனைதொறும் பெருகுவீர். Gifts from Nannan's hill town. With the food they serve, also served from climbing atop, sweet toddy aged in bamboo pipes, for you to drink with no limits till dawn. When you still feel funny to help you sober, they serve sweet white seeds brought by the crashing cascade. Chunks of meat from swift fleshy deers hunted down, minced meat of fatty hedgehogs, pinned down by she-hounds that chased and tore apart, pale-skinned fruits with their stems still tagged, sweet tamarind beaten with thick buttermilk, grains of bamboo rice cooked in pots with scalding water, slopes custard with mamaya blending fragrance, of flowers worn by she with knotted hair, women on the hill who cook white rice with bubbling joy and geniality. Neither a kid does leave you lest hunger satiated. The poet says that when they rest for the night and for a few more days in the burrow, they will be served with different kinds of food items like a sweet kind of seeds that are brought down by the waterfalls from the Naviram hilltop, and they will serve them with freshly hunted deers, also freshly hunted porcupines that are hunted down by their hounds or dogs that they have, and they have unlimited supply of freshly fermented toddy. The poet wittingly again says that if they don't feel sober during the day after drinking too much of toddy, they will be served with thick buttermilk. Buttermilk is beaten curd, and they will mix some sort of sweet tamarind to it to help you sober. They will also serve you with cooked rice, and even a small kid in the burrow will not leave you with a hungry stomach. மலைநாட்டில் நெடுநாள் தங்க வேண்டாம் சிறுசை முன்பின் குருசில் முன்னிய பரிசில் மறப்ப நீடலும் உரியர் அணையது அன்று அவன் மலைமிசை நாடே இறைதல் குவளை கடிவி தொடினும் வரையற மகளிர் இருக்கை காணினும் உயிர் செல வெம்பி பணித்தலும் உரியர் பல நாள் நில்லாது நிலநாடு படர்மின். Do not stay there long. As a king who fought those severe battles, wait with gifts you seek. Stay not behind unmindful of him, there lies peril in the pretty countryside. Touch if you shall the water lilies blue, or find the hidden deities of the hills they revere. They shall make you quiver with a deathly fear, to make you leave and never come back. The poet gives a small warning to the musicians' troupe. He says that they can stay there for a couple of days, but not longer, because their only intention is to meet King Nannan to get a patronage from him. There are also certain difficulties in staying back in the forest dwellers' burrows. What are they? Like, if they accidentally touch flowers like water lilies, which are blue in color, he says that they are poisonous and it might harm the musician's troupe. He also says that if they accidentally happen to see some sort of god statues which are hidden away from mortal sight, it will be punishable, and the burrow dwellers will not let them leave at peace. So it is better to leave after a couple of days' stay. இரவில் செல்ல வேண்டாம். விளைப்புனம் நிகழ்த்தின் கேளல் அஞ்சி புலைதோறும் மாட்டிய இருக்கல் அறுப்பொறி உடையவாறே நள்ளிருள் அலறி விரிந்த விடியல் வைகினிர் கழிமின். Do not wander at nights. Boars that threaten full-grown fields are equipped with traps huge and unseen. Shrouded with darkness those narrow paths, so stay put and leave on the first of dawn's ray. The poet once again gives certain other warnings like do not wander at nights, better stay put in one place. And he says that this is because there are several traps laid by the forest dwellers to capture wild boars or wild pigs that wander and hunt their millet fields. So what if they accidentally trod into one of such traps? It is very dangerous. So he asks them not to wander at nights, and it is better they leave at dawn. With this, we shall continue in the next part. Thank you.